See how this looks. We'll see how this looks. Okay, what's up, guys? I am sitting in the 1975 Toyota Chinook here, making this video after the fact. Went through the first series of videos to do some editing and realized the sound was pretty crap. So just wanted to say apologies for if it's hard to hear some stuff. Trying to equalize everything the best I can and whatnot, but project here is this guy getting swapped onto a 1987 4Runner, which you'll see in the video. So at this point I've done a number of things, but yeah, if you're watching this, thanks for checking it out, thanks for hanging. So, I'm sitting in the Chinook here. I haven't worked on this thing in quite a while, as a lot of you probably know. Had a lot of stuff going on, but I'm going to be getting back to it here, and I think I want to try and document as much of it as I can. So, with that being said, I recently picked up a 1987 4Runner. That's 4-wheel drive. I'll give you a little tour of that thing in a second here, but super clean, super good price on it. And the plan is to take this whole setup, body, camper, and mount it on that frame. So yeah, give you a little tour of that, tour of this thing, and I'll show you the current status, and get after it. So. Alright, little inside tour so far. Mine might be cut off, we'll see. This is probably the last big thing I was working on, was the inside here. Mostly drawers. So, got one big one up here. Behind this panel on the back side is a 10-gallon water tank. It's sitting on top of the fender. One drawer up here. The plan is to have two more similar size down here. Little diesel heater vent. I don't know if you can see this side, but that's going to be kind of an upright closet sort of setup, similar to what the stock Chinooks have. And then I'll probably have some smaller drawers, floor to ceiling, up against the back wall there. And then same thing, a couple, maybe 2 or 3 big drawers here. And then this here is an angle fridge. I think it's 27 quart. Works pretty good for these because it's upright. And you can kind of set, there's a dial up here, you can set coolness, runs off 12 volt, and 120 if you have that plugged in. Yeah, all the tongue and groove wood, which I know a lot of you already saw, but eventually we'll get this done once we get it mounted on that 4Runner frame. And then up here, I kind of walled off the front of the Chinook, the cab, kind of for sake of keeping it warm in here if I'm cold camping. It kind of sucks to insulate the whole thing, and then the cab is barely insulated. Brings a lot of cold air in from there. And up here, I'm just going to have 2 pieces that fit into here that kind of clip in place or whatever they do, but then it'll kind of just be storage. Pillows, blankets, clothes, whatever. It's kind of a lot of space that I figured would be great for storage. 6 LED lights up here, and my Max fan, that works great. Bed here, slides out, and then normally have 2 cushions here, and give you a little closer view of this stuff, but power's all underneath here. Pull this thing up, have a lithium battery there, fuse box, inverter, solar charger, shore charger. So yeah, not too bad once it gets done. We'll get there eventually. Okay, so a closer handheld look at the inside here. Drawers, one there, two more there. Got this little sink that I like because battery's not hooked up or nothing, but when you flip this on, it's basically just a switch for the 12-volt pump. So you flip it on, it turns the pump on and runs water out. Controller for the diesel heater, a remote mount for my max fan up here, and then this angle fridge, which fits pretty good in the back corner here. Had to bump it out. It sticks out almost even with the door. So rear cabinet here. I've got a 20-gallon tank that I've got hooked up to an outdoor shower. Figure for longer trips it's good to not stink. Wiring, switches for lights and whatnot, and then my little USB 12-volt charger, and then I've got two outlets here, one of which is just running off the inverter and the other is running off shore power once you're plugged in. Yeah, and all that wiring tied up as nice as I could get it. So, and then up here there was these two little holes I was telling you about, extra storage. I just threw some, peel and stick carpet down there. It works pretty good. And then the bed. So give me a sec for that. Okay, so bed pulled out, and this back panel flipped up. I'll probably switch this out. It was kind of a temporary thing for when this thing was running. Little 400-watt inverter that I've wired in. Fuse panel. And then a little Noco shore power for when the battery was hooked up. Renogy solar charger. And all the wiring. So, not too bad under here. I'd like to get probably like a 2000 inverter. We'll see about my battery bank. I think my Renogy battery took a shit on me from sitting, which is unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? So yeah, that is current state of the interior. And underneath the hood of this thing, looking like your typical 1975 Chinook. I've got the 20R, which I'm assuming has about 150,000 on it. Odometer's in the high 40s, so I'm assuming it's rolled over. Everything's pretty much original outside of, I put a Weber 3236 in this thing, and that was kind of when I started getting issues. I think too strong of a vacuum, and I was pulling a bunch of oil into the cylinders, because every time I start it and run it, oil pisses out the exhaust. I pretty much did the whole top end, head gasket, valve cover gasket, valves, seals, you name it. I did it, and it still burns, smokes, and leaks oil like crazy. So when I came across this 4Runner, it was kind of engine rebuild, or get this 4Runner, which I'll show you in a second, but it made most sense to do that. So pretty stock under here, and it's all gonna go, and we'll be sitting on a much nicer setup than this. So quick look at the inside here too. I've got the seats out, carpet out, whatnot, but typical Chinook. Some good rust in the floor pans, so I'm gonna get those replaced. I'm trying to get everything out of here as quick as I can. Get all that fixed, get it painted. Rockers even starting to bubble a good bit. Underneath ain't the prettiest. Also found a soft spot in the frame, right in the bend there on the driver's side. So yeah, getting rid of all that, and this 4Runner will be super nice. Alright, here it is. 1987 4Runner. We'll get some closer shots of it, but it's brand new, as far as I know. Not run. Yoda 1 22 RE. It's also got a rebuilt Yoda 1, I'm assuming W56, I haven't got underneath it and looked. Full frame has been sandblasted, painted, old man emu suspension, running torsion bars on this, so IFS, but it is a great candidate for a frame swap. I'll have to do a bit of an extension, which I'll get there, and I'm sure you'll see. But in terms of slapping the Chinook on this thing, I think it's going to be a 10 out of 10. So. So the plan right now for me is to try and get these fenders, grill, body panels, whatever, get it all off, start getting everything disconnected from the engine bay, and slowly work my way towards getting the camper off the frame, and then getting the body off the frame, and probably start getting all this rust repaired, repainted, yada yada. So I'm gonna get trucking on that. Is one light, and as you can see, this little ground wire I tapped in, because when I first started driving this thing around, the ground issues were insane. None of my blinkers worked, reverse lights, tail lights, they would all come and go, and naturally it was a ground issue. So I pretty much, to most lights, went through, cleaned grounds, made my own grounds, ran it back to the negative of a battery or some other negative that was nearby. So there's plenty of those. Oh, that's got to be sitting somewhere. The infamous missing 10mm. What the heck? We found it. Alright, we're just cutting this so I can get this fender off. Just started raining. Let's see how much farther we make it today.
Dressed up in my garment, feeling no shame. Sun is up and making me feel whole again.
Alright, for the sake of my phone getting soaked, see you guys. The rain's kind of on and off, and I'm currently getting wasp nests out from underneath the pop-up, which is, I don't know. I'm sure those of you that have these things sitting, pretty common. And brake cleaner does the trick. plus a piece of angle iron, whatever, for a garage door opener. Already got a massive one on the other side. Not that I condone this, but I don't want them there.